What if I told you that one simple rule could completely fix your broken relationship with money in the next 10 minutes? Welcome back to the Money Whisper. I'm so glad that you are here today because today we're talking about the single most powerful budgeting rule ever created for people who hate budgeting. It is called the 50-30-20 rule, and by the end of this video, you will exactly know how to use it. No spreadsheet, no finance degree, no stress. If you're new here, my name is Dr. JD, and this channel is your home for personal finance explained simply, clearly, and honestly. Smart money, smart moves. That's what we do here. Now let's get into it. What is a 50-30-20 rule? Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you go to see a doctor, you walk in, you describe your symptoms, and in 3 steps, the doctor figures out exactly what is wrong and gives you a clear plan to get better. This is exactly what the 50-30-20 rule does for your money. It takes your entire financial life, your income, your spending, your savings, and organize it into 3 clear categories. No confusion, no overwhelm, just a plain simple framework that works for almost every single person on the planet. The rule was popularized by Senator Elizabeth Warren, yes, a politician, in her book All Your Worth, written back in 2005, but the wisdom behind it is timeless. Here is the basic idea. You take your monthly income after tax, the money that actually lands in your account, and you divide it like this. 50% goes to your needs, 30% goes to your wants, and 20% goes to your savings and debt repayment. That's it. 50-30-20. Now I know what some of you are thinking. That sounds too simple. Simple cannot possibly work. And to that say, the best prescriptions are always the simplest one. When a patient comes to me with some condition, I do not give them 20 different medications on day 1. I start with the basic because the basic done consistently produce result. The 50-30-20 rule is your financial basic, and basic done right changes lives. Breaking down your 50, your needs. Let's start with the biggest category, the 50%. The 50% of your take-home income goes to your needs. Now, and this is important, I need you to be very honest with yourself about what a need actually is. A need is anything you absolutely cannot live without. Housing, food, utilities, transportation, health insurance, minimum debt payments, these are your non-negotiables. These are the things that if you do not pay them, your life falls apart. Let me give you a real example. Let us say you take $3,000 a month after tax. 50% of $3,000 is $1,500. That $1,500 has to cover your rent, mortgage, your groceries, your electricity and internet, your basic phone plan, your transportation, and your minimum credit card or loan payments. Now, here is where I see people make huge mistake. They call things needs when they are actually wants. Netflix is not a need. A $180 dinner at a restaurant is not a need. The gym membership you signed up for and never use is definitely not a need. I understand this is uncomfortable to hear, but as your financial doctor, it's my job to give you a honest diagnosis, not just tell you what you want to hear. If your needs are regularly eating more than 50% of your income, that's a red flag. That is your financial vital sign telling you something is wrong. And we will talk about what to do in that situation. But for now, remember, needs are survival expenses. Everything else fall into the next 2 categories. Breaking down your wants. Now for the fun part, the 30%. 30% of your take-home income goes to your wants. Wants are the things that make life enjoyable. Eating out, streaming service, travel, hobbies, new clothes beyond the basic, concert tickets, weekend trip, these are not bad things. I want to be very clear about that. Wanting things is completely human and completely healthy. Using your same example, the $3,000 a month, 30% is $900. $900 every single month to spend on things you actually enjoy, without guilt, without shame, without stress. Because here is something most financial advisors gets wrong. They tell you to cut everything, stop buying coffee, stop going out, live like a monk, and maybe in 40 years, you will be comfortable. This is not a financial plan. This is a punishment. The 50-30-20 rule is different. It builds your wants directly into the system because sustainable money management is not about suffering, it's about balance. Think of it like a diet. A doctor never tells a patient to never eat sugar again for the rest of their life because that advice failed within 2 weeks. Instead, we say, here is how much is healthy, here is a structure, and here is how you can enjoy your life without destroying your health. Same principle here. 30% for wants means you are living, not just surviving. Breaking down the 20, you are saving and debt. And now the category that will genuinely change your future, the 20%. 20% of your take-home income goes to savings and extra debt repayment. This is the category that builds your financial immune system, and just like your actual immune system, you do not notice it working until the day you really need it. Back to our $3,000 example, 20% is $600 every single month going towards your financial future. Now, what does this 20% actually cover? It covers your emergency fund because everyone needs a financial safety net. It covers retirement contributions, whether that is 401k, an ISA, or any pension scheme your country offers. It covers investing, index fund, S&P 500, anything that makes your money grow over time. And it covers paying off debt faster than the minimum required. The last one is important. Remember, in the needs category, I mentioned minimum debt payments. Those were under needs because you have to make them. But in this 20%, you can throw extra money at your debt to eliminate it faster and save $1,000 in interest. $600 a month invested consistently in a basic S&P 500 index fund, which has historically averaged around 10% returns per year, could grow into over $1 million in 30 years. $1 million from $600 a month, from a $3,000 monthly income. This is not a magic, this is math, and math does not lie. How to actually implement this starting today? Alright, now that you understand the rule, let's talk about how to actually use it. Step 1. Calculate your real take-home income. Not your gross salary, not what your contract says, the actual number that hits your bank account every month after all taxes and deduction. That's your starting number. Step 2. Multiply that number by 0.5 to find your needs budget. Multiply by 0.3 to find your want budget. Multiply by 0.2 to find your saving target. Step 3. Track your spending for just 1 month. Not to judge yourself, purely to see where your money is actually going right now. Most people are genuinely shocked. Step 4. Compare your real spending to the 50-30-20 targets, where you are over and where you are under. This is your financial diagnosis. And step 5, and this is the one most people skip. Automate your savings the moment your salary arrives before you spend a single dollar or anything else. Move that 20% automatically into a separate savings or investment account. Pay yourself first always. This is the golden rule. Insert the golden rule. A patient who takes their medication automatically every morning gets better. A patient who only takes it when they remember usually does not. When the 50-30-20 rule is hard to hit, now I have to be honest with you because this is the money whisper and we do not do false promises here. For some people, especially those on lower income or living in expensive cities, getting to 50-30-20 is not immediately possible. If you are in that situation, please do not quit. The real rule is a target, not a test you either pass or fail on day one. If right now your needs are taking 65% of your income, that is okay. Start with a saving even 5%. Then grow it. Even 1% progress every few months compounds beautifully over time. Think of it the way a doctor treats a patient who comes in with a very low fitness level. We do not put them on an Olympic training program on the day one. We start where they are. We build gradually. We monitor, adjust, and improve. Your job today is simply to know your numbers because you cannot treat a condition you have not diagnosed. So let me bring this all together for you. The 50-30-20 rule is the simplest, most effective budgeting framework for anyone starting their financial health journey. 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, 20% for your savings and your future. This is your financial prescription written for you absolutely free. Now, I have a question for you, and I genuinely want to know your answer. Leave it in the comments right now. When you look at your current spending, which category is out of balance for you? Needs, wants, or savings? If this video gave you clarity, please share it with someone who needs it. One person you know who is stressed about money, because this rule can change things for them too. Subscribe to the Money Whisper if you are not already here. We post smart, simple, honest financial education every single week, and I'll see you in the next one. Smart money, smart moves.